Hey, welcome to Who Am I Today with Summer D, and we're just picking right back up part 2 of that Sears catalog, spring and summer of 1984 that we were working on, and we stopped in the men's section, and we're just going to start again because it takes forever to get through these books. And so Sears, when you ordered there, we talked about how you could get luggage sets, you could get baby stuff, you could get clothing. It was a little bit of everything. And so apparently you could get, also scouts uniforms. And then you also have the men's like jumpsuit uniforms. Like if you were working in like a garage or wherever they wear those to. So, and then you also had rain gear, which I just like the yellow, so I thought I would show you that. But just giving you an idea of like when you went in to get a catalog, I mean, this was like anything you need at home, here it is in the catalog, right? And so men's overalls, and it's actually showing them holding tools and stuff, so they're getting ready to work in their overalls. So you kind of got a little bit of everything in here. Let's see what else we've got. Some exercise bikes. Okay, check out this one. Look at this exercise. Well, here she is right here, ready to exercise. But look at the one down there on the bottom. Do y'all see that blue one? That's interesting. So, see what else we have. So very interesting things. And it's, sometimes I'm looking at one of these and like, it's interesting to me because do you ever have that, like if you find something old and you're looking at it and you want to run down and get it, but you're like, wait a minute, they don't have that. I'm looking at it in this book, but they don't have that. This is not available anymore, which is kind of quite sad. But, okay, bicycles, y'all. I love it. They are so cool. So very cool. Let's see, which ones do I want to show you? Let's just start on this page. So these, look at the banana seats. The one with the basket, the different colors. How cute is that? Okay. And then if you were an adult, this was your choice. This was your choice of bikes right here. I know I had a 10-speed. It was gray and it had pink wheels when I was probably a teenager. And my grandma had one of those. Which is actually quite cool. I was looking for it and I don't think we found it because we were wondering where it went. Because I would probably ride in it right now if I could find it. So very cool. They have some black and white pages, but I don't like the black and white pages much because you really can't see. You don't get the full effect of what the 80s were if it's in black and white. Okay, the roller skates. Man, I would love to have a pair. Look at these. I would love to have a pair of those. We talk about skating all the time, but once again, y'all, I know it sounds like a broken record player. My area is really pathetic. It really is. Like we have a skating rink, but they've gotten to where they just want money, I guess, and they open for kids parties. But if you're like not a kid having a party, they're not open any days for you to skate. I think they give you 2 days a week for 2 hours. Which when I was younger, they were open every day. You could go every single day. You can't really get good if you go 2 days a week for 2 hours. But they, I don't know. I need to figure out something different. Because we were talking about skating. We were talking about how that was good exercise and like we'd like to go. But just not very, being open very often was kind of a problem. Look at these. You wear your tennis shoes and then you strap your shoes into the skates. Which is pretty cool. So... But yeah, I was very disappointed because we were actually a while back it was actually last summer, we were like, oh, maybe we'll take up skating because you don't have to have a dance partner for that. I took ballroom for a while you really need a partner. It is very, you can go do ballroom. It is a clean atmosphere. At least it was where I went. But you have to have a partner most of the time. Otherwise, you sit a lot. You have to wait for somebody to constantly ask you to dance. Or you either have to take the men's side because there's always a bunch of people, a bunch of ladies waiting to be. So if you know the men's part, then you could always get dancing in. So you can kind of be an instructor type ordeal. But long story short, most dances you need a partner. And we were talking about skating and how, well, skating's fun and it's active and it's sort of like dancing, but like you don't have to have a partner. So we were talking about that and like, what can we, you know, do? And the reason I say that is because my husband does not like to dance. He does not. I used to beg him to go with me. And I finally gave up ballroom because it just didn't quite fit into ministry without your husband. A lot of people frowned on that, gave me a hard time about it. And it broke my heart, and I cried about it for about 2 months. And then years later, I finally let it go and kind of got over it. But I still really loved it. It was a lot of fun. Look at the old swing sets. Look at that one down there. One person gets on each side of it, and you push back and forth to swing it. It was really cool. I remember those. But, yeah, I loved ballroom. I loved it so much. And, but anyways, here we are. So many cool things. I'm in the white pages here. We need some colored pages. There's tires in here. You can get your tires at Sears. See what else is in here. You can even get your wheels at Sears. Like, look at these wheels. I don't know if anybody cares about the wheels, but they're kind of interesting though. I want to say rims, but I guess it's wheels. But like, some of them are interesting. So I guess you could have ordered those at Sears. Funny. Okay, and then you could order your I guess, I don't know, it's this whole seat or just the seat covers, but look at the styles. Could any of you imagine driving around with those styles in your car seats? I mean, I could, but I know it's like, you have to be a very eclectic person to, like, you know, I think they're actually seat covers, but the colors are interesting, so that's fun. And then let's see, they have, okay, dress up your domestic or import auto with these customizing accessories. Add a new sporty look plus interior, exterior protection and privacy. So here's the cars that they're using to advertise that with. That is fun too. So yeah, this one's just got like, it's a ton of car stuff. I'm trying to get to something else because, you know, tools. They had like tools to work with, lawnmowers, which look fairly similar. Sort of similar to what we have now. I'm getting there. Bear with me. Let's get over here to something different. Okay, do y'all remember these? Does anybody out there remember these? So do you remember, they look like a curtain, but they're actually like a accordion style door that would go in at, it kind of acts as a door or a curtain, and you could pull it open or shut. I remember having some of those. I remember we had one in our bathroom in the closet, would open and shut like that. So that one is interesting. I had forgotten about it too until I just saw that. They have so many, it looks like almost like newspaper looks in here. So I'm trying to get past all those pages because there's no colors on them. But, okay, look. This is a 1984 kitchen. What do you think? There's a lot of browns, actually. It's almost, to me, kind of a crossover. Kind of looks like the 70s a little bit to me, but that's interesting. Very interesting. And if you were buying a new stove, kind of looks like mine now. It's not new. This is what your choice was. This was what a new stove was in 1984. Yeah, that is very similar to what I have right now. Good, well, because this trailer was built, I think it's 25 years old, so that would make sense, I guess. Or that would still be 2000s, but my stove is white, but it looks very similar to that. So we have, let's see, we've got lots of the Walkman, like the Walkman sets. I remember I used to have one when I was younger. And I would put my cassette tapes in it, or it had the radio on it, which was cool. It was cool to me. It's cool now. It's even more cool now. I wish I still had one. And then these, which you could carry around. Little stereos. You'd always see like people, like a lot of guys especially, but people carrying these to like the parks and stuff. Very interesting. You could buy a guitar and a drum set at Sears. A video camera. Let's see. Okay, and then the cameras, like, you know, taking picture cameras at the time in the 80s. I mean, fairly similar. Those look to right now. And then your video camera over here. Yeah. See what else we have in here. The little y'all, I don't know who remembers this and who doesn't. Depends on how old you are, but the TVs. Do y'all remember when they look like this? Do you remember this type of TV? Almost looks like a microwave. A little bit looks like a microwave, but with a picture on it. I remember these, and I used to have a little black and white TV, and it played. It was black. The TV is black, and it had the antenna you pull out of it, and you know, you adjust it to get it to come in, and then it had the picture was black and white on everything. And then my dad had the little bitty ones. They're like about this big, and also a black and white picture. It was very interesting. And I remember when me and Sam got married, he had one of these, and it had the brown like console with it. So, and it was an older TV he had, so it's like he just still had it. But, and I was into vintage clothing at the time, I feel like, maybe a little, but I wasn't into vintage then like I was now, because I remember begging him to get rid of it because I wanted newer stuff. And now I'm like kicking myself for that, because I had him get rid of some pretty cool stuff that I wished I could get back. But at the time, I just wasn't there in the vintage as much. Look at the old phones. I like the yellow one. Pretty cool. These are house phones. Ugh, the good old days. I feel like it was the good old days when it was a little bit, not a little bit, a lot. It was a lot more simple. A lot. And I miss it. Okay. Mickey Mouse phone. Here's some different phone choices you could get. It's really neat. See what else we have. Oh, and then the let's see, I'm seeing games. So it's like computer, is that computer games? Let's see what else we have. What are they? It says Super Game Packs for Adam. I don't know what Coleco, Vision, and Atom. I don't really know what that was, but I guess it was like a, computer, like a type of computer. I don't even remember this one. Some type of games for something called Atom. I don't know. I feel like I just think computer games, but I'm not really sure. My husband would probably know what those were. My first, I feel like his first experience was with an Atari. My first, and there it is. There's the Atari right there. So I never had one of these. He did, so he always remembers this. My first gaming system was the very first Nintendo, and I loved it. And honestly, my mom loved it too, because I would get up in the middle of the night and she would be in there playing it. But I loved that original Nintendo, and none of them have ever been the same or came close to that. I haven't really, the Game Boy, I liked the original, like one of the first Game Boys, and then after that I just didn't like any of them. It was just like, once it got complicated, I was done. I was like, no thanks. But those were pretty fantastic when we had them. Okay, I'm looking for the next thing. What else is cool in here? So those lamps are pretty basic. Okay, here's the one I have. It's very similar. It's taller, but you know the one I have when I do my clothing videos with the table on it? Yep, right there. It's sort of similar, and this one has a table too, I think, but it's really tall. So, oh, and these, I do remember these. So these lamps over here with like the wood table connected to it. So remember those. I have a here. We'll just move that out of the way. Placemat that is getting in my way. All right. What else do we have? I love these. I've always loved the vintage hanging lights. Look at all of them. The choices. I love the colors. Why do we have colorful lights now? I don't know. With the chains, I just love these. And I actually have inherited a it's like a chandelier light. It's from the 60s, and it's gold, and it's got all the little chandelier pieces hanging around each one of them, and it's very, very cool. I don't have it over here yet because I don't know how to hang it. It's heavy, and we're in a single wide mobile home, an older one, so I don't know if I can hang it here. Believing for a house, because I actually have some furniture at my grandparents' house that is mine. Me and my sister divided up. I really want it, but I cannot fit it in here. I'm going to do a home tour of this. I have maxed this place out as much as we can. Like, I'm going to say it's as much as I can fit, because I'm really good at fitting stuff in here, but I'm saying it's maxed out. Like, if we weren't maximalist before, since the last home video, we're really maximalist cluttercore right now. So, and I want to do a video on that because it's still very cool. It's very cool stuff, and I enjoy it, but we are going to have a bigger space. I have a couch. We have a gun cabinet. We have a china cabinet, which can be used in a living room or anywhere for books or whatever. It's so cool. It's got kind of like the Dutch looking doors on it. And I had that chandelier light and some velvet green lamps. And so I'm probably going to take you over there and show you one day those pieces. But I just don't have anywhere to put it here. I can't figure that one out. So I've been praying about it and asking God. Because I'm like, okay, it's my inheritance and here it is. But I need a house to put it in. So anyways, that's where we're at with that. So some really cool pieces here and there. These are really cool. I like this one. But those are, and I'm always a sucker for the brass chandeliers. I love brass chandeliers, and it just like makes me cry because people take them out of their houses and like throw them away because they want to make everything modern. And I'm like, please don't throw that away, like because they're so good, and they are actually kind of hard to find. They're hard to find in my area. They're hard to find here, and when you look on Amazon, you can't find the ones that look like those, you know. So, it's always a little heartbreaking when houses get gutted and all the vintage charm and nostalgia gets taken out of them. It's a little sad. So, Here's kind of like a cooking set. That's really neat from the 80s. It's kind of neat. Everything matches. Like the little canisters, the clock, everything. So, got some things a-clanging. Should have rearranged before I started. Okay, I was trying to keep everything exactly what it was so it wouldn't be so much work. Okay, some of your plate sets from the 80s. Some of your pattern choices. So very cool. There is a lot of stuff in this book. Okay, this pot set. I like the copper. I feel like I don't really see those. Are those, do we have copper pot sets anywhere? I like that set, so I'm not sure. I know that I have a stainless steel pot set that I had, and then I got the one from my grandparents recently, which is a good one as well. But I don't know if you can still buy the copper sets. I could just be behind. I might just not know what's out there because I only have what's in my area, and all we do is work, and so I don't get out much unless it's thrifting. So Gatlinburg's been on my mind, y'all. You know, I want to move to Sevierville, Tennessee because I want to be close to Townsend, Pigeon Forge, and Gatlinburg. I just want to be close to those things. I want to be close to everything there, and I love it. I know that the traffic is bad, but I'm okay with it because I love the tourist vibe. I love the vacation vibe. I love the mountains. I love the trails. I love the activities. I just love everything in that area. Really, in my heart, that's where I want to be. That's where my husband wants to be. My daughter at this point is just like, I don't care where you take me, just put me in a house. So we're all just kind of like, you know, but that's where we want to be. And Gatlinburg has been on my mind so much right now. At Pigeon Forge, it started with Townsend, then it went to Pigeon Forge, and it's Gatlinburg right now. So, and I just got finished watching somebody tubing in Gatlinburg, and then I was watching the bears. So, interesting enough, oh, I was going to show you. Look at the light switch covers. I'm trying to find it. There it is. The bathroom stuff. Bears, when I was younger, we were in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg a lot. That's where we always went to vacation. And it was rare to see a bear. Like, if there was a bear there, it was like a rare thing. And, you know, if you got a picture, that was like really something. But nowadays, it's because they built so much. They've built where the bears live. And so it's like they're, with all the building and everything that they're doing, they're pushing the bears. They want to keep it like, preserve the bears, but yet they're taking up all the bears' land by all their building, and they're not removing the bears. So the bears are with the people now. So that's why you see so many videos of bears in Gatlinburg, because that's technically where they live and where they did live. And then we came in and built all of our stuff and took up their home, basically, which is kind of sad in a way if you think about it. But that's why the bears are, you're seeing them so much right there, because more and more and more of those mountains are being taken up by all the tourist attractions and stuff. So I don't know. I love it, and I love the tourist attractions, but at the same time it is kind of hurting the wildlife. So I don't know. It's interesting, but I remember when it used to be a rare thing to get a video or a picture. We didn't even get a video. We didn't have that at the time, a picture with a camera of a bear. And now everybody has one. So not a rare thing anymore. It's interesting. But I really do love that area. Something about the mountains. It just screams my name. Like, I always want to drive up the mountain. I always want to go that direction, you know, up the mountain. So, okay, here's the wicker furniture. Remember the wicker furniture? Which is interesting enough. My daughter, my oldest daughter, her name's Trinity, and she is wanting wicker living room furniture is what she was asking for. So she said she saw it on Facebook. It's hard to, it would have to be on Facebook because you don't really see it in the stores anywhere right now to find that. Okay, look at this bathroom set. Look at that. It is decked out in the floral. Everything. I remember the shower curtains like that. It's fun. Oh my. Okay, y'all. What do you think about this one? This is bright. That's a little bit much for me. Okay, I like the nostalgia of it, but I would not do this. This is like too much for my eyeballs, but it is cool. So I don't know. But then someone else may. I like the first one, but that's a lot. There's a lot going on there. That's interesting. Let's see what else we have. So some of the bed sets. Okay, I actually have this mirror right here over at my mom. She's like, I'm giving this back to you. I don't want it anymore. And it looks like that right there. That stand-up one. It kind of tilts towards you. But look at this over here. That. Look at that. Isn't that cute? A canopy bed. A little set. I thought that was cute. Very neat. Things you don't see anymore. And okay, this is pretty cool, I think. I may be the only one, I don't know. But look at this couch. Not only is it tweed and textured, which I love, but it's got the pull out below it so it pops up into a bed, which is kind of neat. And there was a lot, so I'm gonna take the camera and show y'all my grandparents' house later. Now, we got a lot of stuff out of it already. You wouldn't know that by looking at it, because you'd be like, did you take anything out of it? Because it's still so crammed full. We got the stuff we liked out of it, mainly dishes and glassware and decor and things like that. We have not got our furniture out of it yet. But over there it's very similar. It's the same material as these tweed. The tweed, it doesn't have the wood on the sides. It's like a, like a poopy, like a regular style couch, but it does have the brown and beige tweed in it, in that first living room. So that's interesting. So I guess they got that in the 80s. But it's kind of grown on me. It's interesting enough. The more we go over there to clean, the more we're over there, the more we go through stuff, the more I start liking some of it. I don't know if I'm just getting used to looking at it, or I don't know what it is, but I started liking that tweed couch, and I thought, is it just me? And my husband said, no, I like it too. So I don't know. It's interesting. So, oh, honestly, I kind of love this. Look at these. Okay. How would you like to have that in your office? Office chair? Desk chair at home? I don't know. But those are kind of cool. So I'm a textured person. I love textures. I love it when the material is thick and it has a texture. I just love that, and it makes me feel like it's so much better made. It's just, to me, it's just better. But some people might cringe at that. I don't know. Do you remember the bean bags? Okay, when I was younger, me and my sister both had one of these. I think mine was blue. I can't remember what hers was. And ours was smaller. We never did get the big poofy ones like that, but those were bean bags for anyone who hasn't seen one or doesn't remember that. Very cool. And then I do remember all of these different styles of furniture over here, but I remember this brass, the kind that had the brass and glass in it. So I do remember those. It's very interesting. So much nostalgia. So much. It's amazing to me. Some of it I could leave. Some of it I would love to have it back. I'm looking. Let's see what else we have in here. We're moving towards the end of the book, so we're getting there. We're kind of in rugs. I'm trying to see if I can find a good one to show you. The I don't know. They're not kind of okay. Linoleum. We do have these tweed rugs. Okay, hang on. Right there they are. we have those. So my grandparents' house, they have like first living room, and then they had like a fancy living room. But the first one has this rug on the floor, one of these, and then they're like 2 little rugs that go in the doorways that match it. So that is interesting. And then, do you remember when linoleum was a big thing? So you could pick out your style of linoleum. This is before everyone wanted hardwood floors. There was linoleum choices for the floors. We had linoleum. So I love hardwood floors though, don't get me wrong. I love the wood. I love parquet floors. I really do like those, which was kind of, it looked like this. If you don't know what a parquet floor is, it looked like this, but it was real wood, not like the linoleum squares. I do like that style. And I just saw some, where did they go? I just saw some, I thought it was couches with some interesting material choices. Oh, look at these. This one just makes me think of Christmas. Doesn't it look Christmassy? Look how much material. So it was kind of like that bedroom set I showed you. It's a lot of material going on these, like extra material. So it's kind of like, I feel like that was when we had like the country ducks. There was a lot of blue and a lot of country ducks when we had the furniture looking like that. It's very interesting. Is there going to be anything else? I'm looking. Oh, okay, this is cute. Here's just a picture of, there's a picture of a kitchen in the 80s with the table all set, ready to go. Well, that's kind of cute, right? I kind of like that. It is kind of cottagey, or a type of farmhouse or cottage style, which is cute. And then I like when they show you like the whole rooms. This one's cute too. This is a bedroom. Could be a kid's room maybe. I don't know. It's got like a little rocking horse in the back. But that's really cute as well. And looking at my time, 32 minutes. We're at 32 minutes. But definitely some cool nostalgia from the past, but definitely a different look than what we have today. I'm a fan of so much of it. But the poofy curtains and bed sets, I don't know if I'd want to, I like looking at, but I don't know if I'd want to do those again. But I do like them as far as like just remembering them. There's another canopy room. Very cute. Super cute, super sweet. And I think we're coming to the end. I saw something. But some of the kitchen curtains are interesting too. Well, all the curtains, okay? Look at some of these kitchen curtains. So look how much color and ruffles and poofy. And you could pick, you had like your is it valance or valance? You had that part, and then you had the curtains, and you had another one right here. So lots going on for our windows. We couldn't really see out though. It's so interesting because like I remember, you know, Mom having stuff like this, but now it's like nobody wants curtains. You know, everything's open, and I don't know. I still like blinds and some type of curtain, but a lot of people don't. It's very nothing obstructing the view, I suppose. So here's some of the kids. Let me find a good one. Some of the kids sets. These are cute. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to show you because they're all cute. Okay, here's one. And I might have showed you this one before, but out of a different book, but I love it. Okay, this one's strawberry shortcake. How cute is that? Okay, I like the kids' bed sets better than the adult ones. I'll just be honest with you. I know I said that last time. I just think they're cuter. Here is the rainbow set and the Garfield set right there. And there was another one that had, here we go, some Snoopy. This was in '84, and this says Return of the Jedi, so Star Wars was a thing then, I guess. We've got some Snoopy and some Care Bears. So there's the Care Bears, which is cute. And then there is your Snoopy and your Star Wars. The kids' bed sets always get me. They're so cute. They're just, the colors and the pictures and everything are so great compared to nowadays. I do not like the kids' sets nowadays. And that one's really pretty. Okay, this one I would actually do. I think this is not too much ruffle, not too much material. It's in the pastel stripes. I probably would do that one now. I do like it. It's very pretty. Love the sheet sets that have all the prints. Y'all know I've been talking about that on some of the videos. Look at these. I love this. I would totally hands down buy that right now. Absolutely love it. I love the stripes. Kind of like all of them. Look at the pillows at the bottom. So I do actually love all of the colorful sheet sets. I think those are pretty. And you cannot buy those at Walmart or Target. I know I have looked. They don't got nothing. They don't got, that's not proper English, but they don't got nothing good. They just don't. These are cute. So this bedspread right here is really pretty. I like that one's a typical 80s design right there on that one. You see that on clothing too in the 80s. I do like that too. Very pretty. I would probably, if I was going to pick one, pick the flowery one. But I do like the nostalgia of that 80s design on that one. Very neat. Super cool. And I think we're right at the end. I was looking to see if there was anything really great jumping out at me to show you. Ooh, wow, that one's like all red. Look how red. You can pick this in several different choices right here, but that is some red right there. It's interesting how much the taste, you know, like the style and taste has changed over the years. Because this is very, very different from what they're doing in today's time. Okay. Okay, I know it's floofy. It's froofy. What do you call that? Fluffy? I don't know, but I love this yellow one. I love this. This is so pretty. And it's like, I don't know, it reminds me, it's happy. It's like a happy time. It reminds me of like, almost like, me and my daughter talk about this a lot. Me and Paris talk about this a lot. But it's almost, some of the things remind you of a safe time. You know, I don't know if anybody can relate, but like, do you feel safe when, I mean, technically, God is who keeps us safe, right? I'm at the end of the book. But technically, I feel like maybe some of the nostalgia is that it was a safer time. We felt safer, right? We didn't feel threatened around every corner like we do now. So I don't know. I feel like to me, a lot of times that's what the past reminds me of, as a safer time. But I hope you enjoyed looking at this catalog with me, and I will do another one soon, and I will come up with some other videos soon as well. I've just been so distracted with all the work. Honestly, I got overwhelmed when we did that estate and I came out of that. I was just burnt out. I just got really burnt out, and I just went through a couple of weeks where I was just blah. Like, I had nothing to say. I was just blah, and it's taken me a bit of praying and everything to get back, because it just, I don't know, it's just, it's so much. And you know, it's technically it's our life, but it's not our life. You know, have you ever had to do something and you're not ungrateful, but it's not what you expected because you believed for something else, and you get thrown into something you didn't expect, and it feels like it's not the end of the world, but it feels like it, because you feel like you're living someone else's life and someone else is living yours, because you're not doing anything you would actually do if you could choose. That's where me and my family are at. We just don't have a choice right now. It is the way it is. We're going to ride it out until it's done. But it's hard because it's not what we had planned for. We had a plan, and it's not what we planned for. And it's kind of like uprooted everything that we were thinking and what we wanted. And so our hearts are in one place and our bodies are here in another place, and we're doing the work. But it's hard when it's just hard when it's not what you would choose. And so anyways, but there are good things coming out of it, you know? And so that is good news, and I'm sure we will get done with it eventually, and we will be, you know, doing what we want to do is move to Sevierville and hopefully open a store, another vintage store, and just like live in a house. You know, it's very simple. It's not like we're wanting to do anything too horrifically hard. It's just we can't do it right now. We just can't. And it's something that is on hold. And I think when we were believing for it, we felt like we had done everything and it was time. And so when you get to the place where you feel like I've done it all and it's time, and then you don't go, and then it's years later, then you're like, okay, what's going on? You know, I'm 47, I'm sticking here. So anyway, I guess that's where we're at. And so I got overwhelmed a while back. And so it's taken me a bit to get back between doing all the work and just get back to normal again to be able to do this. So anyway, long story short, I'm going to stop there. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I am going to work on getting some more done very soon. I will try to start picking them back up once a week again, hopefully on Thursdays. These two will just kind of go on just as soon as I get them on. So, but after that, I'll try to pick back up on Thursday. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I hope everybody is doing well, and I will see you soon. Bye. And I'm going to say bye again because it didn't work.